This week we've moved from medical to just social, to just everyday life. And for those of you who are here for the weekend, for the week, tourism is a terrible thing in Cape Cod. But with tourism, inevitably comes pickpocketing, and August is a huge tourist month. As such, it's a huge pickpocketing month. Now, Darren, among many I'm sure, was pickpocketed only a few days ago. Ironically enough, I have it on film, and I'm going to show it to you in a little while. When it happens, you probably won't notice a thing. It's just your casual, average, everyday guy bumping into your casual, average, every other day guy. And, yeah. And so I'm going to play it for you. Y'all can see it. And I'm going to rewind it, give it to you in slow-mo so you understand just what's going on.
Excuse me.
Stop. Now, I'm going to rewind that for you. It didn't look like anything to me. I doubt it looked like anything to you. We're going to rewind it, catch just what really went on.
His wallet's still in his pocket.
See? Now I'll give it to you in slow-mo. Just singing on this little Hyannis Sound rehearsal. Come on down.
Come on, behind the stage.
This is Jen. Hi. This is my cousin. She already.
No, just at the very beginning, bring it back down to the top. And then, wait, hold on a second, Derek.
All right, what's your name?
My name is Darren Coyle.
Where are you from?
I am from Wethersfield, Connecticut, and I spent my freshman year of college at NYU at the Tisch School of the Arts, and didn't find my niche there, and transferred to Connecticut College in my sophomore year, where I joined the a cappella group there, the men's a cappella group there called the Kokobo, and after that first year, myself and another member of that group named Dave Hanna joined this summer group called the Hyannis Sound.
And how did you get the job?
Well, there's a group out on Martha's Vineyard called the Vineyard Sound, comprised of men from 3 schools, Skidmore College, Wesleyan in Connecticut, and Connecticut College. And they started probably like a year or 2 before I got to con, and being in the Kokobo, I was, when they were starting this new group, kind of a brother group to the Vineyard Sound, I was one of the first people aware of it just because I was in the group that made up the first group. So Todd Belisle actually sent a letter to a bunch of different schools, Connecticut College being one of them, and said who's interested. And so myself and Dave stepped up and sent Todd an audition tape with our singing on it, and sent him a letter, just telling him, what kind of people we were and whatever. And we met him a few times, and I guess they got about 20 or 30 people who were interested. And he kind of whittled it down to those 10.
Oh, that many. Didn't realize that. And how did you like your first year in the Hyannis Sound?
In the Hyannis Sound. I liked it a lot. I liked it enough to come back for 2 more years. It was a lot of fun, and just singing and getting paid for it is a great concept. And then the 9 other guys I was singing with were just great guys, and I liked the guys in the group so much, and so my first year was really good.
What kind of jobs did you have? Day jobs?
My day job the first year was probably the worst day job you could possibly get. I worked in the Cape Cod Mall in Hyannis at the Papagino's, behind the counter, making $5.25 an hour, getting crappy hours, like 15 hours a week. So my day job wasn't, and I will never work in a fast food restaurant ever again just because of that bad experience. It was just a bad job. But
the second year?
Last year, I was a tenter. I worked for a company, like a party company that put up banquet tents and tables and chairs and such. And that's a pretty good job. It paid well, pretty good hours. Got to spend my days outside and stuff like that, which was really good. And this year, I had a similar job. I mowed lawns for a landscaper in Hyannis, and it paid pretty well and good hours there, and got to be outside all the time, which was great. And was kind of my own boss because we were on our own time and whatever. that's what I did in the days to pay the bills.
What did you like most about the Hyannis Sound, being in the group?
Well, I guess it's mostly from the artistic aspect of it. Was that we were 10 guys without any instruments making music that sounded really good, and it's a lot of fun singing anyway. But singing with 9 other guys who are very good, it improves you as you sing with them, and it makes you feel good to be a part of something that, you know, a bunch of other guys who you respect a lot and think are talented, and it's a real creative outlet. I mean, and then on the side of that, arranging songs, so like that, you hear a song on the radio you really like, and you arrange it, and your group sings it, and it's a really good creative outlet, I guess is the only way I can describe it.
When did you start singing?
I started doing like musical theater when I was in like 3rd grade at the Newington Children's Theater in lovely Newington, Connecticut, and just doing musical theater and stuff like that. No shows that you even hear of because it was children's theater, and started singing there, and then in school choirs and stuff like that, and in high school in the school choir and stuff like that. I mean, I never even heard a cappella really until I got to Connecticut College and got into Kokobo and stuff like that. And ever since then, I guess I've been singing a cappella straight from school into the summers.
What did you study in college? What was your major?
I was a double major in English and theater.
And is that what you want to do later?
That is what
in
I
life?
want to do.
Or now?
Since I just graduated, I'd really like to get into film and such. I'm kind of not going to go into actual live theater right off the bat, just because it's very hard, and I guess it just takes a lot more time and whatever, and I guess I don't really have the patience for that sort of a thing. And from what I hear, LA there's a lot more opportunity out there, a lot more money and stuff like that, and I'd love to get into film more than theater anyway, so much like yourself.
Yes, exactly. All right, anything else that you think you should add?
Just one of the things about this group is that it's all self-run. Like myself, I was the business manager this year. Each year, one of the guys in the group is the business manager and handles all that stuff. We don't have an agent or anything like that. So we find it hard to call ourselves professional because we're not like in the business with agents and all that stuff. But the group pretty much exists by itself, for itself, you know, and continues itself along, which I have a lot of respect for, and I'm very proud of the fact that I was one of the people who helped to create such an institution like that.
Are you going to come back next year?
I will not be returning next year, just because I graduated college, and I guess I have to get started on my career at some point, and I've kind of had my run in a cappella, you know, being in this group. It's 24 hours a day with the same guys, singing a lot, and I guess just eventually, you know, kind of get, as sad as it is to say, you kind of get a little sick of it, singing a cappella and the same songs and stuff like that. So eventually you just you have your fill and kind of like to move on, I guess, now. But I'd love to come back and see what the group has made of itself, or continues to make of itself, and to see if Nadia's still around.
We'll
Are you going to
see.
come back next year?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I live on the Cape.
You live on the Cape. You have to come back.
Exactly.
It's your job.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's it. Okay. Let me see. I have to... All right. What's your name?
Tim Harrison,
And where are you from?
from Barre, Vermont.
B-E-R?
B-A-R-R-E.
That's right. And where did you go to school?
Went to the
College.
University of Vermont from 89 to 93.
And did you go to graduate school?
No, I didn't actually.
No.
I haven't decided if I'm going to. I may.
Where, What did you study?
I double majored in English and philosophy, which
Ouch.
makes me perfectly qualified to be a bartender, which I'm doing now.
So, how did you hear of the Hyannis Sound?
One of the guys who was a founding member, Dave Gorel, I sang with him in the men's group at UVM, the UVM Top Cats. So being in contact with him afterwards.
And you auditioned for this job?
I auditioned actually for last year's group and was the second choice, and came up to visit last August and just sang with them, hanging around the house because I listened to their tape. And they said that if next year, if I wanted to be in, I didn't have to bother auditioning again. I could just be in. So I took him up on it.
What is your day job during the summer?
I don't have one. I'm the only guy in the entire sound who doesn't have one, but I think that's because I came off of, I've been working in the real world as much as Disney can be the real world for 3 years, so I had enough money saved up that I could like pay the rent entirely and I didn't have a lot of bills to worry about, so it's kind of my summer vacation more than anything.
When did you start singing?
Well, I didn't start singing like with groups or in school until like probably sophomore year in high school. But I mean, I would sing along with the radio just as long as I can remember. I haven't been trained in any like voice classes or anything. It's all just singing along with the radio. But yeah, in high school I started getting into like the actual like camaradas and choirs and stuff, musicals.
And what do you want to do other than bartending in Disneyland?
That's, yeah, not at all what I want to do for the rest of my life. I'd love to get into either acting or singing or writing or comedy or any of the above. It all revolves around entertaining. I'd love to do entertainment somehow.
Any plans for that?
Well, when I go back to Orlando in a couple weeks, I'm just going to get all my stuff together, headshots, and make a voiceover tape and do all that stuff. And there's a possibility that I might be going out to Los Angeles in January or February and try things out there.
What did you like most about being in the Hyannis Sound?
It's an interesting mix of people. It was just a lot of fun with the guys themselves. I mean, the gigs were fun, but it's more just the personalities more than anything.
Did you like a lot of the songs, or did you want to change some of it and yourself, and they wouldn't let you?
Not so much. There were certain songs I would have liked to have just retired, but those were mostly songs that I had sung already in the Top Cats, so that I just feel like I've been singing them forever.
So Top Cats is the UVM group?
Yeah.
How long were you there?
I was in that for 2 years. I came in the second year I was the president and music director because we lost a couple of guys. I had to fill a lot of roles. But yeah, so some of the songs, since we took arrangements from UVM, I'm just sick of singing.
Mm-hmm.
And if I come back next year, I'm going to make a motion to retire some of them, and I hope it doesn't offend people. But
So that means that you are going to come back next year.
I'd say there's about a 51% chance. It could go either way, but I'd really like to, so that's like the extra 1%.
Mm-hmm.
I want to. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I don't know. If I'm in California, I don't know how workable it would be. But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm still in Florida, we'll see.
Anything else want to add?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, that's it. Okay, what's your name?
I'm Matthew Nolan.
Where are you from?
I'm from Dennis.
All right. Where you go to school?
I'm at Tisch School of the Arts at New York University. Hey,
This time you got it
That's like the second time
I
this
know,
summer.
yeah. What are you studying there?
I'm an acting major.
And what year are you going to be?
I'm going to be a sophomore.
A sophomore? Gee, same year as I. How did you hear of the Hyannis Sound?
I saw them at Orleans Inn last summer, and I went and saw them, and I talked to Darren during their intermission and got a business card and called Todd. And
I didn't see you there.
sorry. I was there. I swear to God, I was there.
Todd called you up and you auditioned, or what?
Actually, it turned out that Rob called me.
Mm-hmm.
And
Rob Stewart.
Yeah. Just And I ended up, they called me after the auditions because I couldn't make it to Boston for them, and I ended up auditioning over the phone, which was really weird. But
So you got it after all. That's pretty cool.
I was the 10th man for this year.
That's cool. Let's see, what else? Oh, what's your day job during the summer?
Ooh, fun. I work at the Dennis Mercantile behind the post office on 6A.
What do you do there?
I make sandwiches and carry soda around and all sorts of fun stuff.
Let's see, when did you start singing?
I don't know.
You know,
No idea.
did
Probably-
you study music in school, or?
I played saxophone and did chorus and stuff.
That's
But
cool.
I didn't really do anything big until I started doing musicals in high school.
Did you know what a cappella was?
Not until my sister told me about the Dear Abbeys at BU, and I went and saw them.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Are you going to be in any a cappella group at NYU? If
Not,
they have it?
not unless I start one.
Yeah, we'll start one.
Okay, when you come, we'll
Need a
start one.
manager, you know.
You and I'll be like, Todd, come down and start one.
Exactly. Let's see, what else? What did you like most about the Hyannis Sound, or being in the Hyannis Sound?
The fact that all these people who have no idea who each other were on June 1st, even that first weekend, all our voices came together and it actually didn't sound bad. Every other group I had been in, that first day it always sounded horrible. And this was just, it blended. It's pretty cool.
That's cool, yeah. Are you going to come back next year?
I hope so.
You hope so? You don't know whether you...
I'm 95% sure I'll be back next year.
That's cool.
It's one of those things, if I'm dead, I won't be back.
Oh, that's nice to say. Yeah.
I get abducted in New York or something, I don't know.
Well, that could happen. Would you like to add... Oh, actually, let's see. I already asked you that one.
It's time for that. Hi, Mom.
I know. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Nadia's the greatest.
Actually,
You can edit that out, aren't you?
yeah, of course. I don't know. That's all the question. What's your name?
Mike LeBlanc.
And where are you from?
Give me the fucking key. Oh, okay, where is that?
What's your name?
Mike LeBlanc.
Where are you from?
I'm from Westboro, Massachusetts.
And where do you go to school?
Boston College.
What year are you gonna be?
I'm gonna be a junior.
And what are you studying?
I'm in the School of Management. But I
That
don't
doesn't
know
mean
what that
anything.
means
Okay. How did you hear about the Hyannis Sound?
yet. In the Bostonians, which is my group at BC, there was a girl named Damia who was going out with Rob, who was one of the past. He's one of the alumni of the group, and I found out through him and through her because she was apparently a groupie.
And you auditioned for this?
Yeah, and I went to the House in Watertown audition.
Hmm. What did you like most about being in the Hyannis Sound?
That it was a fun summer, and that at home I would have went to Friendly's, come back and watched TV, done nothing. I worked at Friendly's. But here I'll work and I'll come back and I'll have something to do every night. Bunch of great guys, good musicians, excellent musicians.
So here, as a day job, you work at Friendly's also?
Yeah.
Let's see. So you don't really know what you want to become after graduating?
I'd love to try something in music, but
Mhm.
it's kind of unrealistic.
Okay. And let's see. When did you first start singing?
Elementary school,
Elementary school?
just in your courses then.
I think that's the phone. You want to get that? What's your name?
My name is Nick Niles.
And where are you from?
I'm from Sacramento, California,
And where do you go to school?
Boston College.
And do you sing at Boston College?
Yeah, I
And
do. I
in
sing in an a cappella group. It's a co-ed group called the Bostonians.
And how did you hear about the Hyannis Sound?
One of the girls from the Bostonians became a groupie and dated one of the guys last year. far as I
Damien?
know. Damien.
And you auditioned for this?
Yeah, I auditioned on April 20 something, I think. The rest of them.
What did you like most about being in the Hyannis Sound?
Well, I think there, as to everything, there are several facets, and on one hand, you have the musicality. My musicality really improved. I think my ear got a lot better just by being around a group of people who know what they're talking about in terms of music, and a really tight group and stuff. So on the music side, I got a really good exposure to that. Really improved a lot musically. And then there's the whole social side, which was a lot of fun, and I basically, in the intense environment that I was in, with living with 9 other guys, met a lot of good friends, several really, really close friends who'll probably be friends of mine forever, and for that I'm really thankful. So I think there's those two main elements. Yeah.
Do you think of coming back next year?
Yeah, I think highly of it. I think a lot of it. I probably will.
What are you studying at BC?
Studying studio art and English, but mostly art.
So, what do you want to do later in life?
I found that I'm happiest when I'm doing something creative, and that is includes a lot of things. I'd be happy if I were making music. I'd be happy if I were, painting. I'd be happy if I were freelance